Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to NRL Off the Bench Supercoach. I'm coming to you live on the eve of a Magic round. Can't wait. One day to go, and I'm going to be on the way there up to Magic round. Both me and Ross. Ross is joining me today. We've got our Blues gear on because we're going to kick off the weekend with the Mighty Blues taking on the Queensland team up there in the Women's State of Origin. Freaking good way to kick off a great weekend that's coming our way. We're going to have massive football overload, beer overload, everything overload. How are you, Rossco?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm so pumped. It's not funny. I mean, what have we got? 2 sleeps to go, and I just can't wait. We've been the last 2 years, Brad, and just the whole atmosphere of the whole thing, Caxton Street being at the ground, all that sort of stuff like that. It's just, for anyone who hasn't done it and you want to do it, I highly recommend it. If you really want to go and watch every single game over the 4-day or even the 3-day period, highly recommended, mate. Honestly, it will be an experience that you will never forget. Honestly, put it this way. I said, this is our 3rd year running, Brad, and it seems to get better every year.
Oh, 100%. And we're even tempted to go to the actual launch of Magic Round on the Thursday morning when we get there straight up. So that's dedication for you, I'll tell you.
Yeah, that'd be good if we can get a couple of shout-outs for the podcast as well. We might even try and arrange that too. I know you've got your microphone, so we might even see if we can hit a couple of players up for some interviews.
Oh, absolutely. No, we're going to see what we can get, see if we can get a bit of content for the listeners and the watchers out there. As usual, we thank all of you and everybody for tuning in and having a crack. All right. So Team List Tuesday has just dropped on us, Rossco. Oh, man, what's going on here? I haven't even had a look myself.
Yeah, I haven't either. Well, we're going to run a blind like we usually do, Brad. So Friday, the first game, we've got the Sharks up against the...
Yeah, I'll get it up here for you.
Yep.
There you go. There she is there.
Yep. All right, so Sharks versus Eels, 6 p.m. Friday, first game of Magic round. Coyote returns from his hamstring injury, straight swap with Hiroti, who's out for 3 to 4 weeks with a knee injury. Braden Hermule, ULA, plays his first grade game since round 3 after playing New South Wales Cup last week. For the Eels, just the one change. Suspended forward Tuolangi has been replaced by Charlie Geimer in the back row. Dylan Brown and Mitchell Moses will again combine in the halves with Isaac Iongi lining up at fullback. Is this the week, Brad, where Charlie Geimer actually plays some decent minutes for once, starting in the back row?
You reckon Goomer's going to be in? I mean, he's going to be in, but you reckon anybody's actually still got him? I mean, most people must have.
Yeah, I still got him.
Really?
I've been able to get rid of him, Brad. He's still sitting there. I started with him.
It's a guy, mate. He's a crazy one there. I actually, I think this is going to be Sharks love to bully teams. They love to get over the top of teams that are a bit weakened. Aiden Fanua-Blake being named, that's quite an interesting one. Do watch out there. He did look a bit busted. So he could either have reduced minutes or he might be a late change. Billy Burns in the 12. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so Teague Walton, I believe, is out for 2 to 3 more weeks. I haven't really had a look at him. I had a question. We actually had a question about him today, Brad, in the on the page from Matt Rowley asking if he was a trade or not. But I didn't realise that he was out that long. I thought he was just out last week. But it turns out apparently he's going to be another 2 or 3 weeks. So I haven't looked at Billy Burns' price or BE to see whether it's a viable trade. Have you had much look into him?
I actually think he is a viable trade. I quite like it. I don't mind it at all. I think as far as what second row goes, if for a short-term play, it's not a bad move there for you to jump in and give that one a go. I think there's a lot worse you could do. I mean, there's not much happening at second row at the moment. Thomas Cant is really it's time to get rid of him.
Yeah.
He's made a crap load of money. Get rid of him. Billy Burns, he's going to make probably similar sort of money over the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then just in time for Origin, you can probably swap over to Nakora or somebody like that with a bit of extra money that he might earn.
Yeah, I also think that Dylan Egan's probably a sell now too, possibly as well, with a break even of 65. He only played 49 minutes last week, Brad. Now, I know he'd been playing 80 of the weeks prior. He did have a couple of bad defensive reads that I think got him hooked off the field, but I just feel like he's probably maxed out now, and I don't see much more out of him. So, you know, if you were looking at offloading one of those two, I don't mind it, but my app's just decided it doesn't want to work. I was just wanted to have a bit of a look to see what Billy Burns was priced at in his break even.
Yeah, I'll bring that right up for you now. Bear with me. Okay, Billy Burns, he is 337, which I thought he was.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell me the app's and minus 21 because he's at that minus scare. So he's basically at his starting price. So
is this his second or third game, Brad?
This is his. I think he had a very low. No, this is his third game now. 44 and an 85 as his last two scores. Parramatta, 85 on the back line, minus 21. So, yes, very, very viable option. A good 3-week play. And he's not a bad player. If you want, go back to 2023. Have a look at his scores when he was
at the Dragons.
He was at the Dragons, and he was getting consistent game time. He averaged about 58 or something like that. So, not the worst. He certainly does have a bit of a motor in him. He does have an error or two. He's a long-ranging sort of a Sean Lane sort of style player. But the other thing is Trindle loves feeding the second row on his side of the field on where Billy's going to be playing.
Definitely an option, Brad. There's no doubt about that. As I said, you probably want to hope that you can make 100K out of him to make the trade viable, though, because you'll be selling him in 2 or 3 weeks.
Well, I think he's expected to make 70 to 80K this week.
Yeah, projected 46K with a 36. So if he doubles that, then he can go up close to 100K this week. So, interesting. Very interesting, Brad.
Yeah, your 2 to 3 weeks, I think you'll get that fairly easily there. And if you've got the right jewels, like I have, so I can actually, what I might do is actually sell, because I've still got Jaden Campbell. I could sell Campbell.
Yeah.
Not sell Campbell. I could sell Jenkins, for instance. Move Dewey. That's right. I've got Dewey in the 5'8". Move Dewey down to my centre spot. And then there's something else there I could do. I've got another duel there. Believe it or not, I can get rid of a centre to bring in a second row. It's quite a crazy, weird one. But I like it. I don't think it's the worst one at all. Anything else in that game you like?
No, I mean, not really. I mean, I like Ongi in this game too, but I will just say on Hero, Brad, I know we spoke about it prior, but I'm actually contemplating bringing him straight into my team this week as a bit of a pod. He is about 720K, but averaging 86 prior to this injury, break even of 86. I mean, you probably could wait a week, but I just really like this matchup he'll be up against Sean Russell, and I really like it. So while everyone goes to Herbie or goes to Carraz, I'm actually really liking the Iro play. So, yeah.
The only other one I will give a quick shout out to, but I do have my big eyes on him, Bailey Simonson. If he was playing for any other team, he'd be straight in. He's got a base of around about 53 or something at the moment. Bailey Simonson looks frigging good. But he's just playing in a spud team. So what do you do? There's all these other ones like Herbie and people like that out there. But he's about mid-500s, I think. Bailey Simonson, not the worst one in the world at all. Very high work rate, very Carraz-like in his work rate. All right, the Roosters and the Dolphins. What have we got happening here? First of all, I'll have a look at the Dolphins. And the back line is fairly stock standard. There's no changes there. In the front line, Jeremy Marshall-King returns. Tom Gilbert now moves to an edge with Mark Nichols on lock. What the hell is that? Kurt Donahue is the 14, so he's more of a sort of a middle, but he might give Marshall-King a little bit of a break. But it looks like there's some certainly some great minutes there for Marshall-King. For the Rooters, Billy Smith retains his spot. Same with Mark Alphabet. So there's no change in that back half of the field.
No changes at all to their 17. Stock standard, same as last week.
All right. And Dom Young is left, right, out. He's on the extended reserves bench.
Did you see that there was rumours he was going to be linked to going back to Newcastle?
No, but I think I need more than that.
Way more than that.
Wouldn't you get a halfback or two? Something.
The only thing that I'll speak about quickly on the Dolphins, Brad, is that obviously Daniel Safidi's out with his shoulder injury from last week. So if you do have him in, I mean, a lot of people got him in drafts. I know I do. So just don't sell him. Just put him on your bench. He should only miss 1 or 2 games.
All right. G'day, Timmy. A quick shout out. Timmy has joined us live online. Timmy, we will have a look at that. He's asked lads rank the 5, the top 5 2RS between 520 and 580 truckload of options. I will have a look at that towards the back end of the show, Timmy. But thanks for the question, and thanks for giving us a quick shout out there. Don't forget all you live listeners. I can see a few of you live there tuning in. Do shoot through your questions. I haven't had too many beers yet, so we should be able to answer with a modicum of coherence. You know, I am on holidays, you know. Woo! All right. So we're moving on from that one. That was
I don't think there's much else to talk about there, is there really? I mean, you know, for those who are looking to start planning for the bye period, you know, Roosters do play 3 of the major buys. Guys like Connor Watson, stay away from. He'll play Origin. Obviously, Gus will play Origin as well. But there is some decent options there. I know Teddy is very popular this week, as well as Drinky, who we'll obviously talk about later on. But, yeah, there's definitely some options there for sure.
Hugo Savala is going to have some nice price rises now. Any thoughts there?
No, not for me, because he got 65 last week, but that was with a try. So you take out the try and the line break, and he probably finishes about 30. Look, for me at the moment now, I'm looking to basically upgrade. And if I'm not upgrading, I'm not starting to nuff out, Brad, just to make some cash. All
right. So you want to do the Knights team? Let's have a look at this. The first game of the Saturday, Super Saturday.
Yep. Jai Gray returns to fullback with Latrell Mitchell suspended. Jack Whiten shifts to 5'8", and will partner Sullivan in the halves. Duane Aitken moves from the back row to the centres. Taylor Duncan started into the starting side with Lachlan Hubner returning from concussion on the bench. Fletcher Myers and Liam LeBlanc are the new faces on the bench. That's interesting. They've got a centre wing on the bench. For the Knights, Jacob Elliott and Jacob Safidi and Adam Elliott have been named to return from their injuries. Safidi in the front row, Elliott on the bench. Tyson Frizzell returns to lock, with Matt Croker shifting to the bench. There you go. Tyrone Thompson and Thomas Cant drop out. So if we've got Cant, he's definitely selling now. He's not even in the team anymore, Brad.
No, it's quite a bit of a shock, but he's made the dough. So goodbye, Mr. Cant, this week. We will all be looking for a second row option to either nuff out to or to do something.
That's a very interesting bench for the Knights, Brad. You've got Jaden Bailey, who will play hooker. You've got Croker, who's a middle forward. You've got Adam Elliott, who's a middle forward. And then you've got Brodie Jones, who can play both. It's not a great bench.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I was just having a quick boat peep there. It's but it's strong as well. I mean, Adam Elliott But who's he going to come on? He must be.
He'll come on at lock. He'll probably come on at lock for Frizzell. And then you'll have probably Croker and Jones playing in the middle. And then I'll have Bailey playing hooker. So, yeah.
Yeah, it certainly is it's very, very different. If you're a Knights fan, we've got a few out there that do listen. G'day, Kyle London. Kyle, I don't know. If your team can't win this one against that South Sydney, this is going to be like two of the wimpiest kids in the schoolyard.
Yeah, well, Brad, I was just thinking we might have to stay at the Caxton or something for this one because I don't know if I don't think we're going to miss much not seeing this game live.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I don't even know if there's much attack in any of it. I don't.
No.
It's going to make it very hard for my same game multi. That's for sure to pick who.
I got to say though that I do like to finally see Tallis Duncan getting a starting spot on an edge though. I'm interested to see how he goes.
It will be. It's been. I don't know. He's one of those players that the coaches always seem to bypass for some reason, and a few coaches now. So there must be something. I mean, we see him and he passes the eye test when we watch him play, and everyone loves him and goes, "Oh man, look how hard he goes. He looks good." But yeah, it must be just something a bit David Fafita like, you know. Fafita keeps getting shuffled no matter what coach he has. Quite weirdly. The 5:30 game on Saturday, the Cowboys versus the Warriors. What do you got for us here, Ross?
I've got absolutely nothing because both teams are actually unchanged. both coming off wins last week. It's very interesting, but I guess we should the player that we probably should speak about here, Brad, is Scotty Drinkwater. Now, I have been asked, and my answer is yes. Do I trade Kalen Ponga to Drinkwater?
Yeah, it's very interesting, isn't it? It's I had a choice last week between Drinkwater and Teddy. I went the Teddy route. I still didn't really do any good, but he certainly did perform quite well. This should actually be a cracking game of football. I think there'll be a few tries in it. Both teams do like to leak a bit in defence. Robert Derby's the other one's very interesting. I think he's one of the most traded in this week, Ross. I think he's about second or third on the list. Robert Derby, about 330K, I think. But about to have his big price rises coming up.
I don't know, Brad. I just feel like it's chasing. I know he's got an egg break even of -46, but prior to this game, I don't think he had a decent score in him. I'm just going to pull the numbers up now quickly. So he's had a 34, 48, 32, 26. So before the 135 last week, in 80-minute games, he had an average of about 30 points.
Yeah.
That is a concern. However, and I'm not making the trade, and I don't want to talk anyone out of it, they do have the next 5 games in Queensland. They do not leave Queensland for 5 games, including Magic Round, which is a Warriors home game at Suncorp.
Yeah.
So it does make it hard to pass up, but for me, I just can't. Look, the matchups are great, Brad. Like the next, they've got Warriors at Suncorp, Penrith at home, Manly at home, Tigers at home, and then Melbourne at Amy Park. And they got the bye round 12, so they don't play the first major bye.
That is probably one to go against Drinky a little bit there as well. It is, Derby, interesting. I guess if you're looking to downgrade and generate cash so you can get in somebody that you really have your eyes on, it's not a bad move. But I don't think it's an essential move. It's not going to it's going to make a very quick amount of money. And then he's going to flatten out pretty bloody quickly.
The other one question, sorry, just on him, Brad. So I'm interested in your thoughts on this one. So he's at 360K. Yeah, he might make, say he makes 100K, right? And then you end up trading him out. We always say that it needs to be at least 100K to make the two trades viable, right? So do you do that, or do you nuff whoever you're selling out to a 200K bottom dollar dual nuff? What's the play, you reckon?
Well, it really is team dependent, isn't it? Depends how you set up. I mean, obviously, if you've already got 7 cracking or even 6 cracking centre wingers, then you probably would nuff. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. If you're only stuck on about 5 or less cracking centres, then you probably need to do a little bit more work there to try and work your way up. To get another Herbie or Dylan Lucas down there or trying to fix that up. So that it is very, very solid. I do like the idea, though. Quite a few people are starting to go that way. The other one I'll give a quick shout out to, Reece Robson. I've mentioned him in the last 2 weeks. I guess if you were going to get him, you should have got him 2 weeks ago. But Origin around the corner, you'd think that he's going to play Origin, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think he's a lock now. I questioned his form at the start of the season, but his last 3 games have been fantastic. That's the other reason why I didn't go Murray Talangi last week, because he'll play Origin. I wanted him last week. And obviously Nanai, I will say on Nanai, I really like him, but just hold off for now until the teams are named for Origin, because if he's not in that team with the bye coverage the Cowboys have got, I'll be all over him.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just reading a question there, Rossco. I've got a few
starting
to float through. Well, Tulagi, is that who you were asking about, Tulagi, were you?
Yeah, I think he plays Origin. I was looking to trade him in last week, but he looks like he's probably a lock for a spot in Origin, though.
Definitely is a lock for Origin. Yeah. Now, we've got a few questions there. Hayden Boxall, he has come through and he said, thanks for the good advice last week. I'm not sure what advice we gave you last week. I could have been drunk. Maybe I wasn't. But if we gave you some good advice, that's cracking good news. I love it. Thank you, Hayden, and thanks for giving us a bit of a listen. I hope you did get a great score there. I got a question there from Bergs, and I've also got a question there from Jason. Jason Carter. Jace, I'll get to yours when we have a quick look at that game, because that one will be probably more relevant as we go down. All right, the next game is, holy goodness gracious. You better go through this being a Tigers fan. You do it, Ross. You there still? All right.
Sorry.
I'll quickly.
No, it's all right.
All right, way you go then.
I was just worried about the clothes getting wet. Okay, so the Tigers have made no changes to their squad. For the Dragons, Lachlan Ellis has been dropped to reserves, with King Toiga wearing the number 7 jersey from New South Wales Cup, been killing it in there. Sione Fainu drops out of the squad and will be replaced by, oh my God, Corey Allen. Where the hell has he been? Wow. Comes back from a lengthy ACL injury. Hamish Stewart returns from concussion protocols at lock, with Jack DeBellin shifting to the bench and Blake Lawrie dropping to the reserves. That's interesting, isn't it? Hamish Stewart starting at lock and DeBellin's been dropped to the bench. Interesting.
Very strong bench there. DeBellin, Gula, and Luciano Leilua.
Yeah.
Jacob Little at hooker, number 14. That's got to be just about the strongest bench in the comp, surely.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And I'm actually surprised that they haven't played the bloody game this week, because they've actually named Dylan Egan to start this week after naming him on the bench the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, but as we've seen with Coach Flano, he fucks around a bit. Sorry for those with kids and travelling in the car, Jimmy. They stuffs around a lot with his team come game day. So, as we've seen many times, that just because they're named in the number 13 or named at number 12, that doesn't mean that's necessarily where they're going to start. Right, what's happening with the Tigers?
There's nothing happening with the Tigers. They're running the same 17 that beat the Sharks in Golden Point on Sunday.
Looking good. The Tigers for this one. This should be a cracking game. I don't mind this game at all.
I said to a mate today, Brad, that there's going to be two results with this game. I said either the Tigers will play the Dragons back into form, or it's going to be a really close game. I don't think it'll be a flogging. It could be a high-scoring game, but I think it'll be like a 1-12 sort of scoreline.
Now, you asked a question earlier about Ponga. I'm going to ask the question about St. Gutho. St. Gutho has had 3 consecutive scores underneath 60 points. What the hell are you going to do here, eh? Are they going to keep bypassing him? They're using him as a decoy runner all of a sudden a lot of the time. Is it time to jump and go over to Drinkwater, or are you hanging in there?
Oh, God. People have asked, and I'm just like, the thing is, you know what you're going to get out of Drinky, and you know what you're going to get out of Teddy. You know they're going to get you a decent score. Like, even without any try assists or anything like that, they're still going to pump you a decent score. Whereas Gutho, if he doesn't get any involvement like he hasn't the last couple of games, he'll be lucky to get you a 40. Oh God, it's the same. It's the same thing with Ponga. We've said for the last few weeks Ponga's due to score big. We've said Gutho is due. It all depends on what Tigers team turns up, Brad. That's the thing. You know, like it's a hard one. I really don't know. Like,
yeah,
you know, like he's the focus of their attack, and now that Ilias is out, is he going to touch the ball more? I don't know. This is the thing. It's a hard one. It really is. I'm on the fence, Brad, with this one. I really am. I just don't know.
It's certainly going to be a hard one. G'day out there to Watto. Cheers for tuning in as usual. Love your work. Watto says, "G'day, legend up the Tigers." Hey, Rossco, what a nail biter of finish, and that sin bin on pole. Well, it's BS. Hopefully, better officiating this week. Yes, well, I didn't even mention the officiating yet, but we've all heard that the bunker's gonna put the whistle away and allow the referees to actually referee.
And supposedly they're only going to intervene if it's a send-off, not a sin bin.
So yeah, that should be quite interesting there to see what the hell goes down. So anything more on that game?
No. So we spoke about Dylan Egan earlier, Brad. Like, do you think he's a sell this week? Like with a B of 65. I mean, he's not an urgent sell, but if you can get him to a decent player, do you move him on or not?
I think if you're selling Dylan Egan, you must have a cracking team because there should be other issues in your team rather than Dylan Egan at a 65 BE, which if he does start, or even if he comes off the bench, he more than likely hits it. So, and don't forget, you get on that. Once the players start to plateau, they have this bit of a roller coaster where they go up and down a little bit, up a bit, down a little bit. So I think he's just at about his plateau. He's just going to, I
mean, I've sold him. I've sold him this week, but the only reason why I've done that is because I've got Olakwadu in my flex position, and I want to bring Drinky in. And the only way for me to do the sell to bring in Drinky was to sell one of my second rowers, and he's probably the only one I want to move on because even though Nicholson's not scoring well, he's got good bio coverage, so I don't want to get rid of him yet. I don't want to get rid of Horse even though he's playing Origin yet. You know what I mean? So again, it's team dependent, like you always say, Brad. But for me, he's out this week. But is he a definite sell? Definitely not. No way.
Nathan, we just spoke about this one a little bit, Nathan. Thank you very much for tuning in, man.
By the way, congratulations, Nathan, on winning the 2 tickets. We will see you on Thursday night too at Origin.
Oh man, how good's that?
Yeah, he's bringing his son with him. He's got his 10-year-old son coming with him, and they're very excited to be coming.
All right, man. I promise I won't swear too much. I'll be on the best. I don't know. Anything could happen. It is Origin. Well, we'll have my Blues gear on. and I do get a bit loud at Origin. Nathan Crocker, Nathan, well done to winning those 2 Origin tickets. We love putting up prizes like that. And thanks for Damien Norrie for donating those tickets.
Yeah.
Big cheers to you, man. It's Gutho or sell the Drinky, as we just said a minute ago. It's very, very difficult. It actually isn't too sideways.
No.
Drinky looks like I think he has a better buy schedule. And Gutho, well, if you want to protect the money that he earned, then you probably should jump off. But
yeah,
there is a fair bit of risk as well with Drinky. So they haven't really. They've been hot and cold. Let me put it that way. And
wasn't he on 5 points or something just before half time? I think he was.
Yeah.
And then he just went mental.
Yeah, he had a high ceiling and not a very good floor. He did get some low games early in the season. Nathan also says he can't wait to be there. Very quickly, g'day.
G'day, Teddy.
Over there across the ditch. I will say this while we've got Ted on. He's our New Zealand fan favourite. Always does comment, and we love his comments. If Magic Round was moved to New Zealand, I would be there as well.
Me too, 100%.
I just can't wait till they move it to New Zealand, and then we can all frigging come over and give you some shit. It would be a great time, mate. It would be a cracking time.
There'll be no sleep on that trip. It'll just be drink, and more drink.
It would be pretty crazy. All right, I'll do this next game, and then I think someone's got a question about this game. Titans versus the Bulldogs. Well, without even looking, I know the Bulldogs have been a bit raped, but we'll have Connor Tracy, Jacob Carraz, Bronson Sherry, Stephen Crichton, Marcelo Montoya moves to the he stays on the wing. It's Bailey Hayward that goes into the halves to join Toby Sexton. That's a bit different. Max King is joined in the front row by Daniel Sakuka Fafita. Kickout.
Have you still got him, Brad?
No, I got rid of him ages ago. And the rest of it is pretty stock standard. What's not stock standard is the interchange bench. I'm not really sure how this works, but Kurt Mann, Harry Hayes, Curtis Moran, and Blake Tough. Ugh. All right.
What is going on? What's with that bench?
I don't know. That's what I said. Yeah. I don't. Yeah, it's not. But they did have 3 players suspended this week.
Yeah.
So, that is a big one. So if you have Matty Burton, who are the other 2? Matty Burton.
Matty Burton, Josh Curran, and Tupanua.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
But Matt Burton's only out for I think 1 or 2 games. The others are I think Tupanua's 5 weeks. So
7, I think. Wasn't it 5 or 7?
Well, I think he took the early plea, so he gets 5.
Yeah.
But the big shocks here, Brad, in the Titans team, David Fafita being dropped.
What on earth is going on there?
What is happening? You got Chris Randall starting on an edge. Is Des lost it? Honestly, has he? What?
Yeah, I'm looking.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
I'm not really getting it either. I'm not really getting that. Now, given that news, Jason Carter has asked, is Munster to Firm or via Dewey a crazy trade? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah,
anyone but Munster. Anyone. Yeah. Sure, Jason, I know you're listening on Facebook. Have you got anyone else that you can trade to Firma? Even if it's in the back row. I really like Firma this week. He may be coming into my team. However, I would not be selling Munster to do it. I know that they've got the Raiders this week, and I know that he's got Origin coming up. Oh, jeez. Do you really reckon, Brad, Origin coming up soon?
Oh, yeah, I hate the trade. I get it. I get the logic.
Yeah.
Dewey is good for 30 to 40 points unless he gets a line break assist or something. His base is not flash. Now, I'm a Dewey owner. I'd love to get rid of him.
No, he's not selling Dewey. He wants to sell Munster to Firma via Dewey. So he wants to sell Munster, not Dewey.
Why Dewey?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then who goes into his 5'8"? Oh, so Dewey goes up into 5'8".
Yeah.
Then he must have a second row.
No, then Firma's dual. So yeah. But yeah, you're right on that second point, Jason. I think Firma plays Origin. The form he's in at the moment, I'm sure they're going to pick him. He was there last year, wasn't he? I'm sure.
Teddy's come in. Jason, we're not bagging you, man, but he says that's an outrageous trade. No. I love it. I love it. Nathan's also going up the Dogs. I've got absolutely no idea what's going to happen in this game. Look, David Fafita is on the extended bench. Let's wait for news here. Just keep your ear to the ground. I'm not really sure what's going to happen. You got any idea, Rossco? You heard anything? I've heard there's some problems they're not in love with each other. I've heard that.
Don't forget 2 weeks ago, Des came out and said the game he missed for Fafita that he'd be out for 4 weeks, and then he was named last week and came off the bench.
Yeah. Played
49 minutes last week. I didn't see the game, so I'm not sure how he went. But yeah, look, I don't know what to say. I just think if Fafita's fit, surely he's in the 17, isn't he? Over Chris Randall starting on an edge.
Oh yeah. But yeah, a few of you have said, a few of you have touched on, as Jason did a little while ago, about the Fermor. I love him. I'm thinking about him this week. He certainly is on my radar big time. I guess there is that worry about state of origin. Dewey scored more than Munster last week. That game of Dewey, he was playing. It was one of his best games by a mile. Go take a bigger sample size of what he normally does, and take out those attacking. Just have a look at his base, and if you're prepared to just go with that base every single week, then fine. I think one of those players that just his base is, and I own him. I like him. I own him, but I can barely play him every week or any week.
Yeah,
a hard watch.
I think on Firma, he's got to break even at -21 this week, so he's going to make some cash. So we're only in round 9 now. So round 12 is when the Origin players go. So that gives him a chance to make some cash in the next 3 to 4 rounds. So you could do a short play on him, Brad, and then move him on to someone else. Or you just hold him in your team.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, -18. I thought it was -21, but it was close.
100%, Jace. You're definitely right with that one. All right. It's I'm just not sure about the Munster trade out for Firma, but this is the week you get him. I'm just not sure 100% on all the rest of it and how your team makeup is. But no, you're definitely right on that. We've all agreed with that. Firma is one we should be looking at this week. Big shout out to Bergs, who is watching. He's a mad Bergs did have a question. I think he might have had a question about this game. No, that's towards the end. We will touch on that, Bergs, I promise. But he's a mad Bulldog supporter, and has been flying high all year. Actually, he's always flying high. Nah, you're right, Bergs. The Panthers versus the Broncos, 4:00 on Sunday. Ooh. Normally at Magic Round, they have shithouse games on the Sunday. This year, they've absolutely jam-packed.
So Luke Garner will line up in the centre as he returns from concussion. Brian Tottle is at least another week away. Luke Summerton's named at hooker with Mitch Kenny still out. For the Broncos, Jordan Ricky returns from an infection last week. Straight into the starting side, Brendan Piakura shifts to the interchange bench. Ticey Smoothie goes to 18th man. So if Garner's gone to the centres, who's he replacing, Brad? Because it doesn't say here.
Casey McLean.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, Thomas Jenkins might actually.
Jenkins might have to survive another week now. We don't have glue ends inside him.
Oh no!
Oh no! This is a tease. This is a dead set tease, isn't it? Oh man!
For those that are wondering, we often
Oh,
call McLean the ultimate glue hands, although there's a few of them in the competition. Ramian used to be good for it, and certainly Bradman Best is good for it. But the king at the moment is Casey McLean, who just will not pass for love, money, or anything else, leaving Tom Jenkins just languishing out there on the wing doing nothing. All he does is about 5 tackles a game and doesn't do any runs, doesn't do anything because old mate just doesn't pass to him even when he's open.
so the question is, Brad, is he a hold now? And if you hold him, is he a play? Or not against the Broncos?
Yeah, look, this is a funny one. I know a lot of people are selling Tom Jenkins. Again, if you're selling Tom Jenkins, it means that you don't have a huge amount of issues elsewhere in your team. My poor old team, I've still got bloody Jack Howard sitting in my centres I've got to try to get rid of. And there's another one there too now that I think I've got 2 complete non-playing. So Jenkins will stay because there's no real point to moving him on while I've got that other rubbish sitting there. But that's my problem.
Yeah.
So that is my issue. But yeah, so it's up to you. It really is. But I could understand you selling him if you're going to upgrade. I'm not sure who you're going to downgrade to at the moment. Is there anybody on the horizon?
Only Derby be the only one. But then even then, if you do that, you're only getting about 70k change. So is it really worth it? That's the question.
Yeah. I'm not really sure if it is.
Yeah.
If it is worth it. Ted, where is Timmy? Well, Timmy apparently is in the car somewhere. We're not sure where. He's in the car somewhere between
Brisbane and Gold Coast.
Yeah, he's lost. Apparently, he's lost. He was looking for his salon. He's getting a new set of hair plugs this week. He's given up on all the other treatments. He's going for hair plugs, and he's looking for the salon, and he got lost somewhere at the back of the Gold Coast. So well, here's one for you. Jason's put this one to us. I mean, we were just talking about that other trade.
Yes.
Did you go Shiba to Fermor?
Yes. 100%. Lock and load.
Yeah, I
lock it in, Eddie.
Shiba, can Shiba really keep up what he's been doing? I mean, it's been a funny one because in all his Supercoach history, over 6 other clubs or 5 other clubs,
never been relevant.
Never done anything like what he's doing now. So is he just going through a patch in a period? Has he hit about his ceiling? Is it about his top end? So I certainly like that one a lot more than
definitely
the Munster one, particularly in a year where we particularly in this sort of a year that we're sort of experiencing at the moment. It's very hard. Payne Haas, of course, is there. Xavier Willison has retained his spot second row, just under 500k. Is he an option?
I think he is, isn't he? I mean, if we want to talk about players, but Tim was talking about between 520 and 580 in the back row, I actually don't mind this at all.
All right, no, not a problem. Oh, Timmy, we found him. He's made it back home. Good on you, Timmy. Get yourself a beer, mate. Hope that treatment wasn't too painful for you. Xavier Willison is certainly one that piques a bit of interest. I just don't know if I have room for him in the second row at the moment. I would prefer both for him or just a little bit more than him.
Yeah.
So, you definitely go him. All right. So, the last name which
You
in
right
any
there?
yeah, just taking a sip of beer. In any other year would not be a relevant game. However, the Storm versus the Raiders this year, given the way the competition is going, it actually becomes a very relevant game, although a very late time. I might actually be sticking around for this game, Ross.
Yeah.
So Fayalago makes his way back onto the wing. Grant Anderson and Nick Meaney retain their spot in the centres. Munster and Hughes, as per usual, are there. Bronson Garlick, some people are jumping on him this week, remains relevant as a starting number 9. I'm not sure for how much longer. Tyron Wishart reverts back to the 14 position, however. And Joe Chan is retaining his spot in or back onto the bench. He did look rather good last week. I wish he got some consistent time in minutes, but unfortunately, until he does, he's a stay away from. Canberra looks very much the same as every other week. Very settled, that backline team. Horse and Tapine up the front with Starling. Young, Nicholson, and Smithies has made his way onto the 13 with Zach Hosking in at 15.
They changed that last week though. Don't be surprised if it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not convinced that that's the way that Ricky will run that team out there. Any thoughts on what we're looking at there, Ross?
A good game of football, I reckon. I just feel like the Storm haven't really been playing that well lately, to be honest with you. I really think that they're missing Harry Grant at that hooker position. They did look better. They did look better than with Fayaloga on the wing, though, I must say. But I'm still not sure what's happening with William Warbrick, because he's still out with the concussion protocols from about 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Yep. No, absolutely.
Yep. Supercoach wise, I don't think there's really much to talk about here. It was interesting that Pappy kept the goal kicking over Nick Meaney last week when he returned. But other than that, I don't really think there's much here to talk about at all. I mean, for those who have held on to Tom Starling, which I've said for the last few weeks, don't sell him because there's no one to sell him to. He's just plugging along nicely with about another 50 this week. Tamale's another one who's just been doing a job. And then you've got Horse, who pumped out, I think, a 70 or close to in about 49 minutes last week, and Tarpany as well. Like, big points out of him last week with only playing about 50 minutes as well. So, it's interesting.
Nicholson is getting close to a trade, but if you are trading him, it's very much a luxury trade if you're going down that path. But he's plateaued. He's just going to go up.
Yeah, I mean, as I said to you earlier, Brad, I think he's handy to hang on to for buy coverage. So realistically, unless you're selling him to someone decent, then I'd probably just be hanging on to him for the buy coverages.
No, absolutely. All right, Ross, we've got a few questions. Do we want to hit up a few of these general questions we've got?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So we do have one from Bergs from 360, NRL 360. For those folks that do remember it, there's a few of us on here. We love your work, Bergs. We miss you. But here's his question. Not sure if you have answered or touched on it yet, lads. Ground integrity this weekend, will it hold up or get in early? So basically what he's referring to there is, do you get your VC and C set early and not leave it to, say, Haas in the last or second last game, etc.? What do you think there, Rob?
Yeah. Oh, look, they've done what they've done for the last couple of years. They've actually re-turfed their whole surface, which will be ready to go for the women's game on Thursday night. We were at the ground there last year, Brad, and we even at the games that were being played on Monday, I thought the ground held up really well. So I wouldn't be too concerned about it. There's also no rain forecast on the radar either. However, I do like the play of just doing something safe with like a May or a Haas as captain or something like that.
I'm actually going to go for a Hail Mary on Nico Hines in the first game as my VC. Get that out of the way. I think versus the Eels, I just know versus the Eels, you should always play whoever's playing against the Eels. Just that simple, isn't it?
If I go Hail Mary in that game and I trade in Kailero, he will be my VC. He's a lock for VC for me if I bring him in.
Yeah, no, absolutely, 100%. 100%. All right, Timmy O'Connor, who's now listening at home, he wants to know about the top 5 second rowers ranked between 580 and 520. Gee, Timmy, make it easy, mate. Why don't you? That's a very technical.
Well, I have come prepared because he did ask me about this one earlier.
Yeah.
When he rang me. I've kind of narrowed it down to a few players. So we've got Sua Wong is one option. Nafu White, who's probably going to get extra minutes during that Origin period with Spencer Lenu out, and they've also got Nat Butcher out at the moment injured. Bo Firma at 553 with Neg BE at 553k. Britton Nakora I do like as well. His scores have been down, but he's just about bottomed out at 555k. And then from there, there's not really anyone else except for maybe Mitch Barnett is the other one too. With Fisher Harris out injured, he seems to be playing some more minutes at the moment, so I do like him too. So for me, they're probably my best options, Brad. Who would you go out of that bunch?
I love Nakora shout out. I've got my eyes very much fixed on him. And believe it or not, and Mitch Barnett. Because Mitch Barnett is way better than where he is priced at the moment. The other one you really shouldn't ignore, which we all ignored because we all thought he was a dud, it was Aaron Clark.
Mm.
Have you seen his scores in his average?
I have seen his last 3 scores, yeah. I have seen it.
Wow. Yeah, Warriors, you've got a good one there. Somehow, I don't know how any other coach couldn't get the best out of him, but Aaron Clark at 570 is absolutely killing it.
So he's the second player that's never ever been Supercoach relevant prior to this season. So there's him and Shibasaki that have both never ever been Supercoach relevant, but have been this year. And we saw when he was at Aaron Clark was at the Titans. He played several positions and just did nothing. So it's very interesting that he's doing what he's doing this year, whether it's the coach, whether it's the halves. I don't know what to put it down to, but I do like that shout out for him as well, Brad. Yeah, for sure.
Now, my other one, I do have one more, and this is another player. He probably, though, should have him up in the hooker position. But Mamazoulis up to Cam McInnes, only going to cost you an extra 40k. I really like Cam McInnes a lot more than I like Mamazoulis.
Yeah.
He's got 61 last week. He's been scoring pretty consistently at around about that level. Average 57 so far this year. Not the worst.
Yeah, I think, look, there's plenty of options there for you, Tim. My suggestion is go in, have a look at the draws, dissect it down, look at BEs, all that sort of stuff. Buy coverages, Roosters, Cowboys, Sharks have all got good buy coverage. So and the Raiders do too. So some food for thought for you, Timmy.
Yeah, some food for thought there. Absolutely. Now Teddy is back on the double nuff with hooker option again. He's been flying the flag for the double nuff hooker.
I know Desi hasn't doubled down. Desi's still got Sandon Smith at hooker.
A bit of a shout out to Desi. Desi's going to be joining us at Magic Round for the couple of days there. So it's going to be good to have him on board. We will be doing a few interviews during the Magic Round, so he might even jump on and give us a quick shout out as well. But he certainly, he's gone a bit away from it, Ted, at the moment, but he has been flying the flag and crowing about the possibility of doing a double nuff at hooker and allowing your flex to really just take control of that position. But in order to do that, you've got to be very sure that your team is going to score well across the board. Hooker's just such a basket case at the moment. I mean,
which is exactly why I did the same thing that Desi did. I actually nuffed out Harry Grant last week to a dual position nuff, and that gave me 300K in the bank to load up this week on some trades. Yeah.
All right, so that's about it for questions at the moment. Timmy said, "Well played, lads." On you, Timmy. Now, anything else you want to go over, Ross?
No, just don't forget, guys. If you're at the ground, you want to meet up with us. There's some meet points Friday afternoon at 3:00. We'll be at the Caxton Hotel with the guys from the playbook. I think there's some other guys that'll be there as well. Also, we have before and after at the Paddington Paddo Hotel or pub or whatever it is. Before and after the games, all the days will be there except for probably Friday afternoon. So if you do want to come and say hello, that's where we'll be. Send us a message, whatever. Be great to catch up with some of you guys as well, especially those who are loyal listeners, and be great to catch up and have a beer with some of you guys as well. So if you're around, even if you can't make it to the games, send us a message and we'll be happy to meet up with you. Obviously, no podcast next week either, with it being Magic Round. We will probably just do one on Tuesday, Brad, with the TLT. Plus, we'll have a chat about some of the Magic Round. I'm sure we can have a bit of a chat about that on Tuesday once I'm back from Queensland and you're back from Queensland, and we can just might have some stories to tell. Who knows?
Well, what goes on tour stays on tour, doesn't it?
Apparently.
We're too old for shenanigans, but it will be a great weekend of footy. Catching up with people, 3:00 at the Caxton. If you've never been to the Caxton or experienced the zoo-like atmosphere that you're going to walk into there, come along, join us. The Friday afternoon, there's a lot of super coaches that all get there, and everybody just talk super coaches. It's actually really cool. The Friday afternoon is a good one to meet, greet, and to see people who are just as interested in Supercoach as what you are. So do try to make it for that one. You will see me and Rossco walking around. You can't miss my ugly head. Should be able to see me from one end of the ground to the other. So give us a shout out. I always enjoy it, and I always love saying good day to people, particularly those that love Supercoach. Many thanks to Wedgetail Golf. Actually, I don't have his hat on today. I went and pointed to it. I'm sorry about that. But Wedgetail Golf, wedgetailgolf.com.au. Great golf apparel is there. And hopefully we might catch up with our sponsor too over the weekend. Anything else there, Ross?
No, that's it. Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. I don't know where Biggest Dickus is today. I'm very disappointed he's not on here, but you better have a good reason for not coming on.
Yeah. He's probably crying because Latrell is not going to be playing. That is pretty outrageous that he's not. Magic Round and he gets binned. He gets outed for one game for that. I've got to say that is pretty outrageous. There
was some terrible sin bins on the weekend.
That was not good form. But go the Blues. We're going to be there Thursday night. Can't wait to catch up with who won the tickets again. Was that? That was Nathan, wasn't it?
It'll be Nathan and also Greg Garner as well. We still have got one more that we're looking to potentially give away as well. So there may be someone taking it. If not, I'll put the post out on the page. And if anyone wants it, first in, first served if he doesn't take it.
All right, so there's still one up for grabs. Go the Blues. We'll be meeting the girls hopefully Thursday morning, some of them. So if you're up there, we'll see you then. And until then, you have a great time, everyone.